Hi guys, Tool and McGrath here. Want to show you, give you the measurements of the Pekiti-Tirsia Longsword. This is based on a Punute blade, which is a long straight sword with a straight clip point in the back. That's common in Leo's part of the Philippines. And the blade measurements are this. You go one arm up, elbow to fingertip. That's going to be the back spine of the sword. That's dull. And then one hand up, and that's going to give you the clip point area. And then one hand down from that will give you the rest of the cutting edge. This area here is deliberately dull and full thickness to act as a blocking surface. If you're fighting on the sword, you're going essentially edge to edge where you have the most power. But because this is a thick, flat bar, I'm guessing probably with a pretty thick fuller in the middle to keep it from getting too heavy, spread the load out. You're not chipping your edge out, and you're more likely to damage the opponent's cutting edge. The handle, the grip is, the original just had a single hand grip and ended on the bottom here. And the guard here was like a full bell guard on a naval cutlass. That was very common in the 19th century when Leo's maternal grandfather, Conrado Total, would have been growing up, and that's what you would see naval people use for boarding or to repel boarding. I added this extra grip here just from all the knife making seminars I've attended and talking to the sword makers. Something this thick, you probably want to use a two-handed grip. So it's kind of based on a European hand-and-a-half sword in terms of the grip area. And the full design would have a ball here as a pommel. Chris Byron of Volpe's Training did a simple disc, which I found works surprisingly well. It fits my hand nicely. I anticipated using a ball, but this disc works fine. Hello. My dog is down and running around here. So if you think of a 19th century naval cutlass with that bell guard, you see in a lot of pirate movies they usually use that. The bottom portion here is dull in front, so it can use the blocking surface without destroying your fine cutting edge. The back, the spine here, is one cubit. That cubit is a fingertip to elbow in space. Then you go up one hand, and then from that juncture you go down one hand, and that's your two hands length cutting edge. You'll see points here and points here. There's actually guards. The top guard is basically used like you would see on a compilon. So you'd penetrate in, but it would stop there. You would not over penetrate. So if you have you fight multiple opponents, you want to stab and bury this thing into a guy. He's got a hold of that, and now bagging number two can cut your head off, right? And then this bottom guard is to prevent you. You see this flare here. It's to prevent you from coming up too high. Because if you use this with a hand guard in European martial arts with swords, they call this half swording. But you're essentially going into a bayonet grip or spear grip with this, and that gives you a lot of leverage. You'll see my grip change video. I'll try to put a link in at the video in this point to that video. You'll see we'll use single hand guard, double force, two hands on the bottom, I call it a sword grip. And then we come up here for a spear grip. And that's what you're doing, basically. The third set of solo recontras, and then there's some techniques in the third set of seguidas, where your hand is actually grabbing up in here to get more leverage. Easy to do with a stick. If you do it with a sword, you better have this designed sword. And this type of dull in the front sword is not exclusive to Pekiti-Tirsia. You'll see a lot of medieval long swords where the bottom half is dull. If you look at the Scottish claymore design they used in Braveheart, you actually see this covered with leather just as a grip, and it's meant deliberately for gripping, so you can use this with more leverage. All right, guys, so that is the design of the Pekiti-Tirsia Longsword. You'll see this minus the two-hand bottom on the PTI logo, and then you'll see a one with the actual two-hand portion I use in my fantasy novels for the good guys to use. Okay, thank you. Those are the measurements. Train hard, but train smart.